Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Dear students, I welcome you all to the YouTube channel of Multan Public School and College. This is Cambridge History and Culture of Pakistan 20591 for class O level 8. We are studying chapter number 2 from section 1 of our history syllabus. Today we will continue our topic British expansion and Indian resistance to it from 1750 to 1850s. And in this connection, we need to discuss the following points in detail. And with today's lecture, we will be able to complete our chapter number 2. Topics for discussion today are the annexation of Sindh and how did the British take over the area of modern Afghanistan, who was Titu Mir, annexation of Punjab, annexation of NWFP, present Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and what was the doctrine of lapse? Why were the British able to conquer India? Who was Titu Mir? This question is very common in your past papers for 4 marks. So if you write these given 4-5 points as the answer of this question, you can get 4 marks easily. Titu Mir's real name was Sayyid Mir Nisar, and he was a great Bengali freedom fighter, modern day Bangladesh. He sparked the flame of liberation in the hearts of Bengalis, which led them in their struggle for political, cultural, and economic independence from the British tyrannical rule. Titu Mir went to Makkah in 1822 to perform Hajj, and there he met Sayyid Ahmad Shaheed. He became greatly influenced by Sayyid Ahmad Shaheed Brailwi's teachings, who inspired him to preach the true teaching of Islam and fight for the freedom of Muslims. So when he came back in 1827 to Bengal, to Bangladesh, he was determined to free Bengal from un-Islamic practices and British rule. He used to help farmers against the tyrannical rule and raised an army of 15,000 soldiers who were also his followers. He built a bamboo fort at Nark Belaria in October 1831 to face the British forces, and he defeated British army which was sent to destroy it. As a result, the British again sent an army to defeat him with the modern weapons. Titu Mir's forces could not withstand the power of the British modern weapons, so that he, along with many of his followers, died. And he was defeated by the British army over there. But the British commanders praised his bravery very much at many occasions. Now we will talk about the annexation of different areas in India by the British, that how they annexed Sindh and Afghanistan. Let's talk about its background first. British wanted to take over Afghanistan because they were fearful of the Russian expansion. And for this they wanted Ranjit Singh, who was the ruler of Punjab, to support them. But he was in support of Kabul being independent. So the British themselves went ahead. However, a rebellion in Afghanistan in 1841 caused the defeat of British troops, and it led to all British troops in the country being killed. This was a very shameful defeat for the British in Afghanistan. They felt that they lost their prestige and pride by defeating in this war. And this loss was too great for the British. So as the after effects of Afghanistan defeat, British moved towards the Sindh, and it became the reason for annexation of Sindh. So we can say over here that why was British annexed Sindh. Why did they annex Sindh? There were certain reasons for that: to regain their lost prestige in Afghanistan and to re-establish their power and to expand it. And they also want to counter Ranjit Singh's expansion policy. The territory of Sindh was ruled by collection of amirs at that time. It means that the rulers of Sindh were called amirs, and they had signed a treaty of friendship with Britain in 1809. It means that they were in good terms with the Britain. However, the British wanted to regain their prestige and also to make sure that Sindh could not be targeted for Sikh expansion. They decided to annex Sindh. When they decided that they will capture Sindh, they only needed an excuse for that. And for that, the British General Sir Charles Napier provoked the amirs of Sindh to attack their British residency in 1843. The Sindh rulers were not having bad intentions and they did not want to break their friendship treaty with the Britain. But Britain wanted so. They wanted to capture Sindh. That's why they provoked their general, Sir Charles Napier specially. He provoked the amirs of Sindh so much that they were forced to attack the British residency. And it was attacked in 1843, and now the British were having their excuse for war. And in this way, when they attacked the Sindh, they captured it. They defeated the amirs and they captured this area of India. Let's talk about the annexation of Punjab and northwest frontier. Soon after the annexation of Sindh, the Punjab also fell into British hands. Raja Ranjit Singh had established an independent Sikh kingdom in Punjab, but after his death in 1839, the Sikhs were worried that the British would invade Punjab, and so they launched an attack on the British at Aliwal in 1846. This is called the Battle of Aliwal in history. British defeated the Sikhs easily in this war and forced them to sign the Treaty of Lahore, that was a peace treaty. However, this treaty did not last for long, and Sikhs attacked the British again. And the British defeated them again in the Second Sikh War in 1848-49. And the Sikh Empire came to an end in this way. So the Punjab and NWF, Northwest Frontier Area, became part of the British Empire on 30th March 1849. Okay students, now we will look into the annexation of NWFP, present KPK or Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, which was called Northwest Frontier Province at that time, and the natural and scientific border of this area. This province, NWFP, was very important for the British at that time as they considered it mandatory to their defense from outside forces of Afghanistan. Lord Curzon considered it as a national and geographical border of British India. And after him, Lord Lytton became the Viceroy of India in 1876, and he put forward the suggestion of separating of Indian border from tribesmen or Afghanistan. This would increase the level of faith between the British and the tribal areas and will also safeguard the defense system of British in the mountain areas. The agreement of such a border was eventually made between Sir Mortimer Durrant and Amir Abdur Rahman Khan of Afghanistan in 1893. And this established a scientific borderline between Afghanistan and British India that is known as Durrand Line. and still this Durand Line exists as a border between Pakistan and Afghanistan. Students, we are discussing here that how British captured or expanded their rule in India gradually. And one more point which helped them to expand their rule was the introduction of Doctrine of Lapse. Doctrine of Lapse was a document, it was a law that was issued by British Governor General Dalhousie in 1852. This helped the British to expand their control even further. This law stated that when a ruler died without a natural heir, the British would seize his lands. Natural heir means direct heir, that if a ruler dies and he will not be having his son or brother to become a ruler after him, the British would have these lands in their hands. They will be the master of those lands. So many areas like the land of Jhansi, Satara and Nagpur, these were the states which suffered from this law. And this doctrine of lapse created a lot of resentment among the people and played a major role in the British expansion in the subcontinent. There are some more examples of different areas which were captured by the British under this doctrine of lapse. And the last point which we have to discuss over here is, why were the British able to conquer India? Why were they able to establish their rule in India so quickly? And there are certain reasons for that. The new Mughal rulers were incompetent, and the Mughal Empire was already in decline at that time. And this Mughal weakness became known to the British. British easily mingled and gained support among the local people. They saw that this was a collection of disunited territories with a variety of different rulers with different religions and cultures. And they are fighting among each other. This was the weakness of the Indian rulers or the Mughal rulers who were ruling India at that time, that British were able to conquer India. And on the other side, the British were industrially revolutionized. They were much more advanced than India. It had superior weapons, means of communications, and the confidence that went with these technological advantages. The British considered themselves superior to the Indians. They saw India as a country in stagnation and decline. And a major reason for the British success in India was that they always believed that they would succeed. And politically, they believed that their progress was inevitable. Part of that progress, their belief that they were not only superior, but that they were destined to rule large parts of the world. It was their belief and the weaknesses of the Indian rulers which made them able to conquer this large part of the world. Okay, dear students, with today's lecture, we have completed our chapter number 2. And now be ready for the home assignment. Today I am going to give you some source-based questions. We had already discussed in our meet class that how to attempt these questions. Even if you have any problem in solving these questions, we can further discuss them in our next class. Okay, there are two sources are given to you, source A and source B. Study these sources carefully and then answer the questions which follow. Question number A is, it is related to source A. According to source A, what reasons are suggested for the British victory at the Battle of Plassey in 1757? This question carries 3 marks. You have to find out 3 reasons from the given passage. And B is related to source B. What does source B tell us about the British East India Company in 1825? This question carries 5 marks. You have to look into the picture carefully and use your knowledge related to the topic and then answer this question for 5 marks. Okay, thank you so much. Stay blessed. Allah Hafiz.